I'm Makini, and I'm your guide to finding tools that will help you live your best life as you become your healthiest self. Again, today we're going to talk about COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus. Since March, we've heard a lot about COVID-19, what coronavirus is, what we need to do to keep safe. We have heard it morning, noon, and night. Well, today, because we are all going out more, I want to review the virus and what we should do to keep ourselves, our families, and our friends safe. So let's start with a little vocabulary. What is a virus? That's our first word for today. A virus is a teensy tiny germ, way smaller than any of us can see unless we have a microscope. Viruses can make us sick, but they can't do anything by themselves. They're just there. They need to live inside another creature, that's called a host, to survive. And we are the host, the human beings. To do that, they have to get into our cells. And we all remember what our cells are. Coronavirus, our next word, the coronavirus is that teeny tiny germ, is a virus with a special feature. The virus looks like it's wearing a spiky crown. There is a language called Latin that people don't use so much, but in Latin this word corona means crown because that virus looks like it has a crown. Pandemic. Next word, we've all heard of the pandemic. The pandemic is an outbreak of a disease that occurs over a wide area, just like now. We have a global pandemic of the coronavirus, COVID-19. It typically affects everybody. Right now, what do we say? Coronavirus, COVID-19 is affecting everyone all over the world. On March 11, 2020, this year, the World Health Organization, the big health organization, declared that this virus, the coronavirus, was a global pandemic. This meant that the virus was reproducing so very, very fast outside of where it started. And so this was in most countries across the world. So soon after, we know that most schools were closed and most of our parents and friends began to work from home. And we all learned what Zoom was. Now that we have our vocabulary, now let's answer some questions. What does the virus do? This coronavirus can make people cough, feel tired, have a fever, lose your taste of smell, and many, many other things. But for older people and people who have other conditions such as asthma and heart conditions and other illnesses, they can get very, very, very sick from it. The disease itself the virus causes is called the COVID-19 virus. Where did it come from? Well, scientists believe it came from bats that bit another animal, and that animal gave it to humans. No one is truly sure what the animal that was bitten by the bat was. So we're not very, very sure at all. Scientists are still working on this. How did we get the virus? The virus has to have a way to get into our cells, a pathway. Scientists say in our terms that there's a special door on the outside of our cells that can let this virus in. In addition to the coronavirus, this coronavirus needs a special key. So it's a door with a key. And this special key on the coronavirus is the spikes on the crown. Once it gets inside of our cells, the virus makes copies like a copy machine. We've all made copies on the copy machine. And these copies affect our other healthy cells. At some point, there are so many copies of this coronavirus that they make our good, healthy cells work overtime and they get sick. We then get sick. So someone says, well, Miss Makini, how do you know if you have it? So if you begin to feel real tired and feverish and you haven't done anything to feel tired about, please, first and foremost, tell someone. Tell a caregiver, tell your parents, tell someone. Because there's a special test that is given to tell whether we have the virus or not. If the test comes back positive for COVID-19, your healthcare provider, your doctor, your parents, everyone around you that loves you will help you, and your healthcare provider will tell you what you have to do. This will mean staying away from others, and most times it means that you have to take some kind of medicine. Hopefully and prayerfully you won't have to go to the doctor. How do we keep from getting COVID-19? Well, I think we all have heard all of the things that we have to do to keep from getting COVID-19. We all have heard about wearing a mask when we go out. My mask. Ta-da! Put your mask on when you go out. Don't play with it, don't touch it, but wear it when you go out. Keep it up over your nose and over your mouth, and try not to play with it. Number one, first and foremost. Number two, when you're out and around a whole lot of people, keep your distance. We've all heard about that 6-foot distance. Well, yes, along with wearing your mask, scientists and doctors say we should keep a distance of at least 6 feet or more between ourselves and others. So for right now, we can't give high fives or hugs, and I know that hurts us all, but I know that eventually we'll be back to giving hugs and high fives and, being closer to one another. Number 3, keep your hands washed. One way to keep coronavirus from using that special key to get into our cells and making us sick is to keep our hands clean. Wash them with soap and warm water, or if you are away from soap and warm water, use your hand sanitizer. And I know we all have those little bitty jars. We've got these. We've got a lot of them now. For a while we couldn't find them, but hand sanitizer is very much out there now. Number 4, eat a healthy diet. And if your doctor says so, or your parents tell you, take vitamins and make sure you do exactly what you're told to do. Today, we know everyone is just really tired of hearing about this virus. We're tired of hearing about it. We're tired of seeing it, but we can't do what we used to do. And we are tired of being at home all the time and don't want to wear a mask. And some children are even having to go to school on Zoom. But if wearing our mask and keeping 6 feet apart and keeping our hands washed will get us through this until the vaccine, let's do it, guys. So there we are. We are at the end of our update on coronavirus, but I want you to remember these things. It is here and it is real, and it can make us very, very, very sick. We know that we have to keep ourselves as healthy as we can by eating great meals, eating our fruits and our vegetables, and if our parents tell us to take vitamins, take your vitamins. Remember the things that keep us safe day to day. Number 1, wear your mask. Number 2, keep that distance apart. Number 3, keep your hands clean. And again, when you wear your mask, keep your hands off your mask. All right, everybody. I hope that helps us some. Remember, we're all in this together. So let's just keep on doing what we're doing and keep a smile on our face, even under our mask. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. Bye-bye.